I can remember being 6 years old saying, I'll do anything for you, Lord. Then I remember at 12 seeing Bishop Snyder hold up the Blessed Sacrament during Mass at confirmation. And I remember running to the back to the sacristy and said, I want to be a priest. And he then wished us the courage to continue to say yes to that.
And then as you get older, you're exposed to the culture, the pop culture. It's just flashing in front of your eyes. And everything's so glittery, so sparkly that you're like, man, I want to do this, I want to do that. And faith kind of dims down in the background, and the church was not the answer for me.
I was partying a lot, but also I was going to Mass on Sunday. Kind of living a dual life.
The clubs.
I felt like I had everything together.
Hanging out and drinking, meeting girls.
I felt really empty.
And I said, there's got to be more than this.
I wasn't letting the Lord speak into my heart. I wasn't hearing his voice. And I looked up and there was a billboard sign. I just knew at that time if the Lord couldn't speak to me inside, then he was going to have to hit me with that sign from the outside.
And I said, Jesus, I'm doing everything wrong. I need your help. Just lead me. It was right around the time where John Paul II, his health was declining. And I remember the effect that he had on the world, what God was doing through this one man, and that I need to explore this as a possibility for my life. The springtime of the church, God's calling men just like me.
What caused this sudden change? I see it as a response to the world today. There is a hunger in our youth for service. That hunger increases inner faith and gives them the courage to sacrifice everything to serve others.
Courage is necessary. If I don't read the scriptures every day, if I'm not going to Mass, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to fall flat on my face.
I had a friend of my dad's come up to me and say, your dad's proud of you.
At first, I was shocked a little bit because you've seen this boy grow into a man and you just can't, you know, picture him.
Giving up my BMW, my place out of the beach, my girlfriend, and living a life of no bling bling, no sweet thing, and we serve Christ the King.
When a man wants to be a priest, it is not like his choice, but God's. So we say, you have to discern. Go through the process of self-discovery. Understand what you are giving up and what you are getting into. Learn what it takes to be good and effective priest. As priests, these men will need courage to face hard questions and situations, and they are trained like no one else in the world to handle it.
The call to the priesthood becomes more and more countercultural. One of the issues is the fight between life and death.
People are looking for direction on, you know, the guy who was just put to death, and then the abortion issues, euthanasia, everything.
It's probably as much countercultural, if not more so, our personal celibacy, but also defending marriage.
The whole culture is saying you have to be in a relationship. You know, you don't even have to be married, but you just have to be, or there's something wrong with you if you're not.
What is the response to that?
Temptation is part of reality of our life. But how we deal with temptation, that's the question we have to answer.
So, Father, what do you do when you're tempted?
This is...
It never happens to him.
Oh, you angel, you.
That's what I speak with when I go to visit my spiritual director. Not you guys. Before a candidate is accepted to the seminary, he has to go through a very lengthy psychological evaluation. Is tested from different aspects of his personality, his sexuality, his stability. But this is truly just the first and basic stage. And after 7 to 9 years of formation, we are pretty confident he is well prepared to be ordained. What Bishop Esteves says, the new Pentecost. What are the ways that you can be part of new evangelization?
As Fishers of Men, going out and having no fear of talking to a stranger, inviting them. And it's amazing just how many people are hungering for that.
We don't have enough priests today to staff all of the parishes. You may be the only priest, the only pastor in a large parish. How are you preparing yourself for that reality?
Life of the seminary, it's a packed schedule. I think the wisdom behind that is to replicate what a priest encounters on a daily basis. We have time for prayer, work, socialization, serving Mass, going out into the community. We have house jobs. I do the dishes, maintenance. There's guys that do the trash, clean the church, cafeteria. We have time for sports, academics. We do an immersion program in the Dominican Republic, pastoral ministry. Right now I'm at Hospice by the Sea. I'm accompanying people as they die, and being privileged to do so. Being called to have a compassionate heart.
We've been very fortunate over the years to import priests that have come from other countries, like Africa and India, to keep our parishes and institutions running. Our young people need to see and hear American Catholic priests, and a lot of prayers have been offered. A lot of hours have been spent in Eucharistic adoration.
Last year, 9 men from our diocese answered our prayers through God's call. This year we have 18. And that gives us hope, great hope.
At the deepest level of my heart, I want to wake up as a priest.
Celebrating the Mass as a priest, I can say the words, "This is my body."
Kind of gives you goosebumps, you know. He's going to bring the Eucharist to the Catholic Church and the faith.
But they need our support. They cannot do this on their own.
Now we are called to ensure their formation.
Average cost of education of one seminarian, 7 to 9 years, 45,000 a year, equals a lot of money. But think about, what is the return? I do think that there may be people in our diocese who feel that desire to sponsor a seminarian, to offset the cost of education for one seminarian for the entire length of formation. I ask you for your help. You have already received a letter from the bishop asking you to support our future priests. You will find an envelope in your pew for the special Lenten appeal to make that sacrificial gift today.
It's absolutely critically important that they be willing to lend a hand through their donations to help our young men who are seeking the vocation of the priesthood.
When you have to sit down and write that check, you really feel like you're participating in supporting that. And I think that God really blesses that.
There are 3 generations of the Rojero family here.
We have 13 grandchildren at this point, and we have been blessed beyond measure.
We as parents not forget to encourage our children to consider a vocation to the priesthood. If we don't have priests, we don't have a church. I don't have someone to give my children the sacraments.
And what was it, like
St.
2 or
Augustine.
3 years ago, we only had, what, 5 guys?
5 guys.
So we got like 18 guys.
Yeah.
Gracias, gracias, gracias. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Gracias por todos. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And let's do it together.
This is the answer to God's love and providence for our local church in the Diocese of St. Augustine.
When you answer yes to this appeal, you are saying yes to the work of Christ. Thank you.